Press on. We got a gang member across the street. He's checking out this car that has its flashers on across from Starbucks. It's been here for a little while. There's no one in it. But I'm not sure if I know who that is. What's that? It's not my car. No, hold on a second. I thought those cars were coming, but they're not. No, I don't know whose car it is. It's been there for at least since 10.
Oh, really?
But I don't know if it was there how long before that, though.
Yeah, I was wondering if the person's all right. It's all parked here, one of them broke down, something like that.
Well, at first I just figured they were walking to the gas station. I mean, I don't know where they could go. Like, Starbucks was right there, but there's nobody else there, I don't think.
Alrighty, well, thank you anyway.
Officer Ryan, huh?
Yes,
Yeah. Who's your sergeant?
It's Weston.
Oh, Weston.
Yeah,
Oh,
met
you.
him yet?
I have. He's really cool. You're usually on the day shift then?
Yes, sir. We just rotated to nights.
So did everybody switch?
Yes, sir. All the squad shift. Usually about every 4 months or so.
So now Rayleigh's in the daytime?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Walters, and they're all day to Fox, and they're all daytime now?
That's it. Yeah, everybody switch.
I see. Well, Weston's really cool. Who's your lieutenant? Grass. Okay, I have met him, actually. He was really nice, too.
Yeah, he's a good guy, too.
Yeah, he didn't violate any of my rights at all.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I consider that a good start, you know. But there's another crew that I saw 2 nights ago, and they're what I would call a rogue unit.
Are they?
Yeah, absolutely. I met 6 of them all in a matter of a half an hour, and they have just completely ruined the grade that Georgetown PD had, which was a pretty good grade. You know, I mean, compared to other departments, Georgetown PD has been pretty good, I'd say, so far, right?
Yeah,
I mean, compared to other departments, right? But that crew, it's under Lieutenant White. But I have not met him, so I don't know anything about him. But I met Sergeant Roby.
Oh, Roby.
And Earnshot and Ernesto.
Oh, gotcha.
Right, and 3 others. Trying to remember their names. But, well, 2 of them, Earnshot and Earnhardt, don't know 3802 of the Texas Penal Code. I'm sure you know it. And so when you can identify somebody?
Correct. Yeah.
When can you?
So I don't want to get into semantics on the side of the road.
No, it's a real simple answer. We both know that. It's written out in one sentence very clearly. So when can you identify somebody?
No, I appreciate your curiosity with the law. I don't want to be quizzed on the side of the road. So would you do me a favor?
You're spending twice as long avoiding the question than you are just answering it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, sir. So it's not safe here with all the fog and everything?
I'm a big boy. I don't need your permission to stand anywhere.
Okay.
This is a free country, not Nazi Germany. So I've seen this tactic before where you're trying to escape from a question, a simple question.
Right, sir. So,
you know, we started off good, and now you're trying to give orders, which this is not a crime scene. Deal with it all you want. You're not detained.
It's not safe.
You're not detained?
You are not being detained.
No, you're not detained.
I'm not detained.
I can leave, and I'm free to stay as well, of course, because there's absolutely no reasonable articulable suspicion to detain me.
Not to interfere with what I'm doing.
Well, I'm not interfering. You're free to go and do whatever you're doing. Do it.
This vehicle's blocking the roadways, you can see right there.
Do it.
So I need to deal with that.
Do what you want to do, and I'm going to film it.
Okay. Would you mind filming from a safe location?
I'm in a safe location. If you're here, I'm protected. I'm on the improved shoulder. This is perfectly legal.
Can you stand over there for me?
I could, but why? Have you shut this down? Is this a crime scene?
No, sir.
I'm already here, so if I'm free to go, I'm free to stay.
Okay.
I'm really no harm or threat to you at all.
I don't think you are. I just
exactly.
Would like to deal with this.
Go ahead. I'm not interfering. Speech alone is never interfering.
Okay, but with your actions, I would like
my
to stand
actions.
Away. Yeah.
What actions?
Of you
I haven't even moved. The camera's perfectly still.
And this vehicle.
Oh well, I can come over here and be here, and that way I'm not in between. That's a reasonable request, you know.
That works.
Yeah. So I'll resume the commentary now, I suppose. So we got a new night crew going on, and they're gonna take a little breaking in, apparently. I don't know what kind of program these gang members have been operating on in the daytime, but it's pretty shoddy, to say the least. Now I know Sergeant Weston is really reasonable, so I'm sure I'll be able to make some headway that way with him. You know, he's a good listener, and I don't think there's any need to shy away from 3802. You know, if police officers / gang members are attempting to cloud the issue of identification and when it's required, then that can only lead to misuse of their supposed authority in the field. You know, it probably means that they're demanding it from people when they don't have any cause to do so. And while that may be legal, it leaves a really horrible taste in the people's mouth. It's kind of bitter, you know, and bitterness festers, you know, it has an aftertaste, it just sticks around, you know, and previously I had the impression that Georgetown PD wanted to have some sort of positive relationship with the people as well as the citizens, but not all of the officers would seem to be helping their cause. Now, Officer Ryan here, I mean, that was a classic case of fear. You know, he lost his sense of control because I questioned him and he didn't know the answer.
You said about 10 o'clock when you saw a car parked here?
Yeah, well, when Starbucks closed, I came out and I saw it, and you know, it's hard to miss the flashers.
Wait, when did the guy went?
I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised that I mean, there's not that many places to go to just walk away from here, you know. It's registered and everything, and
That's weird. You didn't see which direction he went by chance, did you?
I didn't see him at all. Like I said, the car was there when I came out of Starbucks, and with the lights flashing.
Gotcha.
And you know, I just at that point figured, oh well, maybe he ran out of gas and he went to the gas station. I mean, he might be at the or she might be at the gas station. I don't know, but I don't know. What do you guys usually do in a situation like this?
So this would be considered a road hazard because the vehicle's protruding into the roadway right there.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I'm worried that especially if that guy's battery dies, that even his hazard lights wouldn't be on.
Uh-huh.
So it creates a roadway hazard. So what would happen is we would just relocate the vehicle to an impound lot. He'd have to come get it.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you guys really busy tonight?
Not terribly.
Not, so you have a little time at least? Okay. Before you call the tow truck?
That's not really a time thing, too. It's more of a safety thing.
I mean, with you here, you're like, you've got the lights and everything. Like,
Right.
you're much more visible.
Absolutely.
That's why I asked, like, are you...
Yeah, I would hate for someone to come around down this street and then hit the car, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree. It could be a road hazard. And it's foggy. The weather conditions aren't good, you know?
Exactly.
He didn't leave a note, or she didn't leave a note at all or anything, you know?
Wish they would. Well, I appreciate the information either way.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think that the press and the police can work together oftentimes.
And that's the best thing to do, right? Between
Well,
both people.
I mean, it's just that they have different capabilities
Right.
of what they can do, and they're not necessarily enemies.
No, not at all.
That's for sure. Um, I think we can be on the same side. Like, are you on the radio?
Reporting the vehicle's been here since about 10. We have a record guys who wrote that. Yeah, sorry. I'm talking to the radio.
You are calling a tow truck?
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
if it's been here for about an hour, I'll expect them to come back anytime soon. If they come back before that, we can talk to them, see if we can sort something out.
Right, right. Well, you got to do what you have to do, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's like so close. It almost seems like they could have pushed it over,
Yeah.
into the.
Dangerous. There's a couple lanes here, but yeah.
Well, it's downhill, like to the next.
Yeah.
You turn in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Almost made it into Wolf Ranch.
Yeah, for sure. 3802 says that a person is required to identify themselves
If they've been arrested.
if they've been lawfully arrested and
Is that
asked.
what you're asking?
And asked, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I mean, that is important to the people, and that's why I ask that question. And plus, it's a code that you use every day on multiple times, I'm sure, because the first thing you do is ask somebody for their ID on a stop, So I think it's important for the people to know when they have to
Absolutely.
and when they don't have to.
For people to know their rights, absolutely.
And also for officers to know too, and not be afraid to answer that question, because I mean, yeah, you guys can say whatever you want. There's no like legal ramifications for it. You can tell somebody they have to when they don't, but it leaves a bitter taste,
Right.
right? When people have been told something by an officer and they complied, and then later they find out, oh, that was nonsense. I didn't actually have to do it.
That's why it's important for people
Right.
to know their rights as well, too.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you do know. I had a feeling you knew.
Did you?
Well, yeah, I did, because I think most officers do know. But when an officer tries to float it, like Earnshaw did, and he tried to argue that it's only when you're detained,
Right.
it's scary, because you guys have guns, right? And when it comes down to it, being right doesn't always save you. Sometimes people get arrested or kidnapped for failure to ID when they didn't have to. It does happen, right? It's a very commonly used threat.
So did it happen here? Is that why you were asking, or?
Oh, no.
Why you're asking?
I've never had a I've had bad experiences, but no officer in this town has ever like tried to put their hands on me or anything like that. Or,
Well, I'm glad.
I mean, no. I like I said, I rate Georgetown PD above most departments, and I mean, I really haven't had too many experiences where anywhere where an officer has tried to put their hands on me. I'm good at de-escalation, but there's others that are out there with autism and schizophrenia, and they have the same rights,
Absolutely.
and they're not always able to de-escalate or communicate in the way that I am,
Yeah.
right? And so just because I don't get handled badly doesn't mean that others aren't. You know what I'm saying? And so by taking it one question at a time and starting at the beginning with the ID, because that is the beginning of pretty much all stops, right? So that's why I start with that question.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because it's the very beginning of a stop, like from both perspectives.
Right.
Somebody's going to be asked for their ID or you're asking for it. And that's a lot of times things get off to a bad start right there, right? If an officer demands it and somebody knows that they don't have to provide it, then it could be a confrontation,
Oh, yeah.
right? And I mean, not everybody's as reasonable.
You would
You know.
hope so. If more people were, right?
Yeah. I mean, And on the other side of the coin, there's plenty of people out there saying, I know my rights, and they don't know.
That is also
They
true.
think they have rights that they don't have, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
they're getting into trouble for trying to use rights that they didn't have the time or place. And, yeah.
yeah, well, a big one that I hear, because I film, is people in public saying that they have the right to privacy. Now, they can be very convincing that they have that right to privacy.
Now, aren't there some states, like, I want to say it's East Coast maybe, where it's a dual party consent for recording? Aren't there some states like that?
Well, when you're in public, no. But like if you're wearing a hidden camera or something like that, like if you're recording a phone call and the other person doesn't know and has no way of seeing it, like this is quite obvious. You cannot make the case that I'm not holding, that you're not being recorded, that you didn't know, right? But Texas is a one-party consent state anyway. But like, let's say we were in Starbucks, right? And I was recording the Starbucks employees. Here in Texas, I can legally do that, right? Because it's one party, if I had a hidden camera.
Right.
But like in New York, you wouldn't be able to do that with a hidden camera in Starbucks because that's private property and it's public access, but it's theirs, right? So like if I'm recording the employees and catching them doing things wrong, Starbucks could say that they were victimized there, right? If it was a hidden camera,
That makes sense.
you know, because it's a two-party consent there.
Yeah.
But like here, as long as one person in the conversation knows,
Yeah, consents to the
it,
recording.
yeah, but like that doesn't mean I can put a secret device on your table at Starbucks and go sit somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But basically, if you guys can do it as police officers, we can do it,
Absolutely.
right? So, you know, if you have a camera on your car, which you most certainly do,
Yeah,
and you can see anything that you can see, you know, you're in public or anywhere where you can be, you know, I mean, if it came down to it, they could kick you out of Starbucks too, just like they could kick me out. You know what I mean? They could ask you to leave. Yeah, trespassing, you know.
Yep.
And the same rules apply, but you can't trespass somebody's eyes. If you can see it, you can record it. It's absolutely no different, you know. But like where it gets confusing is, say like in a government building, you know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
government employee is not allowed to film maybe because that's against their policy. And they think that that applies to me where it doesn't, right? Because I'm not a government employee.
Right.
I don't have to follow policies and SOPs and SOGs, guidelines. The whim of the administration does not matter to me in the least,
Right.
Because I'm one of the people.
So what about like military bases? But you can't do that there either.
Well, if you're on the base, of course not.
Right.
Right? But if you're on public property filming the military base, if you can see it, you can film it, right? If they don't want you to see it, build a wall or hide it,
Put them in privacy
you know, which
fence.
they do. You can't see anything of any importance, right? Because Google Earth goes over it.
Yeah.
You know, the Google car has free reign. They go wherever they want,
Exactly.
pretty much, you know, and the people have the same right,
Oh, yeah.
you know, but they get messed with a little bit more. I really don't do like that, where I've seen a lot of videos where people go and they want to film like a military base from the outside or a police station. Like they just go there just to film, you know what I mean? And that's their right. They can absolutely do it.
Absolutely.
But my thing is that why not kill two birds with one stone? Like I don't have time to make news. Okay, I film what's already going on. There's plenty of it.
Right.
And if it brings me to a police station or outside of a military base, fine. But I'm not just going to go there just to film.
Just that by itself.
It seems like I'm not doing enough there, right? Like I don't need to create the news.
So what else do you film?
Well, I film traffic stops. I mean, if you're at night, you'll
okay.
see me, you know. It's not that I just film at night, but it does seem like most of what I see is at night, you know. I don't know why. Maybe the lights are more visible at night. I can see them from,
Yeah, not
you know.
traffic, dude. Probably easier to get around.
I don't know why, but it just seems like most of my stops are at night, you know. And I have a lot of videos in town, and you know, like if I see you, I film. I always film when I'm talking to government employees because it's matters of public concern.
Right.
You know, they want to hear from you guys, and it's just good to open up dialogue.
I think so too.
Right.
Dialogue is very important.
And so many of the videos I see on YouTube, the photographers want to like chase the officers away, right? Whereas I'm like banging my head against the wall when they do that, because I'm like, you just missed a good opportunity to talk to them. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not going to be questioned, but like I'll get philosophical. Like we could have philosophical discussions, you know what I mean? Or like talk about the job or whatever that you guys go through, you know? But, and they don't have to like answer questions. I mean, the photographers, you know, but I don't know why they have to chase them off either. Because it just, it kind of does. That was fast. They don't always get here so quick.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective to do. Interesting way to do things.
Yeah, for sure. You know, so I mean, I have a YouTube site. I'm posting about Cedar Park right now.
Oh, Cedar Park PD? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, in Cedar Park in general, but if you got to do your thing, go ahead. But I don't post until I leave a town because I like to get the full story.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I put different conversations together, you know, because they go together.
Yeah.
Right. Like I have a lot of officers that I've talked to about 3802. You're not the only one. You know. I mean, most of the officers know it, and they're not afraid to admit it. But Sergeant Roby, he didn't want to say anything, a lot like you, you know, at first. And that's just not necessary. It's not like that's top secret, right? I mean, this 3802 is not a secret. No, I mean, it's not like, why are we trying to hide it? Yeah.
So the thing I was more concerned about was, oh, well, I'm trying to deal with this.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to come talk to you again.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Get that dialogue.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I really do. And the people will like that as well, because, I mean, it showed that you did know it when you're lawfully arrested. But now, if you're detained and you give a false name, that is a crime.
That's right.
And if you are a witness and you give a false name, that's a crime. But you don't have to give your name if you're a witness.
Exactly. So
right.
That's an iffy one.
You don't
too,
have to.
They're a witness. Yeah.
But you don't have to.
Guys?
Good.
I'm Gilbert. Nice to meet you. Hey, brother.
Hey, how are you doing?
No, this is my friend's car. He was taking me home, and he had to go
You
to
found her.
Yeah.
Look at you, man. You're the good guy, the white knight.
The tire, we were going around the corner, and I guess we stopped on the tire, and I guess like he said like the rim like broke, but like the tire was not drivable. We tried to drive away. And it looks fine.
This is such a happy story now. Oh my goodness, your car almost got towed, and now it is getting towed though, but.
I don't think it can. I think it's broken. There's a lot of things that are broken on this car.
So I'm gonna let you guys sort out where you want to take it to. We just can't.
I think he wants to take it to a.
We're taking it to our yard.
Yeah.
They already had agreed on it.
Yeah, we were waiting on the phone call. He was taking me home. He was going to work. He works at Fast Eddie's. I live in Round Rock, and so we were like honestly just on a drive.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm waiting on an Uber. I stopped and got food. I'm messed up.
Yeah, that tire is definitely not drivable. Yikes. Yeah, just for future reference, were you guys have to
We
stop?
could not, like, we tried getting over and everything, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but don't be afraid to call us.
Okay.
I don't want someone to come around this corner and get you guys' car.
Okay.
It's in a lane. You know, you guys tried your best to get out of the
Yeah, and always get out of the car and come on the grass.
Yeah.
It's not good to be in the car and get hit. You'll end up dying in the car with the car, you know?
I got the big lights to keep everyone away. Just for future reference, all right?
No problem. Thank you guys so much.
thing.
Yeah.
Officer Ryan, you know, speaking of things that people shouldn't be afraid to call you about, there's a lot of snatch and goes at gas stations and stuff in this town, I hear, and they're just not getting investigated for some reason. Apparently the police department thinks that they can decide what is in their best use of time.
Yeah,
when those are real crimes.
Is that in at least the last 4 months that I was on day shift, we didn't have a whole lot of problems with snatch and goes at the gas station.
I think they're happening at night.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they being reported?
Well, they are, but the word is that the police department thinks that they can decide what is a good use of their time.
That's interesting.
And they're not considering those high enough theft. Now, I mean, I'll tell you what, if you stole a case of beer from me, I would consider it a pretty big freaking deal.
I'd be upset
and I don't
too.
even really drink beer,
Right.
you know. But if I was trying to run a business and I had people running out with cases of beer, I mean,
a good night.
No, you too, man. Be careful, all right?
Yes, sir.
It's-
Appreciate the help.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Hey,
Have a good one.
You
Y'all be
too.
safe.
Yeah, take care. If you talk to anybody that says that,
Oh, I have.
please encourage them to report it. Because here's the big issue.
They are reporting it. According to them. I mean,
according
I have
to them.
sources, you know, but
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the biggest thing is that we find out is that people either report things late, and then what are we going to do about it? We can't do anything about it if it's reported 3-4 hours after the fact. So that's why. I
well,
encourage
you
people
can
to
check
tell
for
right away.
fingerprints. Like some of the, I mean, usually they're so blatant, and they're done by kids and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? And they get emboldened when they get away with it time and time again.
And they do more and more.
It's like they're trying to build it up to a bigger case, right? Well,
Yeah.
that is a good way to land the kid in the system forever. Get to them right away and make it known that they're not going to get away with this crap. I mean, they leave fingerprints. Of course, these are not planned, okay?
they're not
You
thinking
know,
about it.
they're on cameras. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that hard. The schools, I mean, you guys can go to the school anytime. Like, the rules, like, you can't search me right now, but you can search anybody at a school because they don't have rights. They're persons, and persons don't have rights. They have privileges. Which seem like you right now have privileges, not rights.
Not rights.
Right, like your freedom of expression is obviously stepped all over. You have to wear that uniform. I mean, every pin has to be just right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right. Your right to bear
Look
arms
good.
is gone. That's your superior can take it away. And
Yeah.
yeah, when you're off, you can carry your own.
Right.
But at work, it's a privilege that is given to you by your superior.
There you go.
Right? Like your religion, you know, you can't preach it, you can believe it, so it's cut in half.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, sir, I'm
You
gonna
gotta
get back
go.
to it.
Hey.
I appreciate it. It's good talking
Oh,
to you.
Round Rock is stopping to
Good. Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah,
good old Round Rock. They'll do a drive-by. All right, thank you. Yeah. So I'm not jaywalking here because you have to be between two streets with working street lights, and there's no street lights that way, so it's not jaywalking. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, spread the word. Yeah. Right?
Master by the name of Bates, smoking more than all 50 states combined. Yeah, right, I gotta stay on the grind. I got no money, so my weed's on my mind. I hit the club, but you know I can't dance. 7 and 7 in my cutoff chance. Tie that shirt in my long ass hair. What part of how I look makes you think